Hey friends, welcome to Gardening with Creekside. Today we have a bit of a project to do here on the back patio. You know that I am all about sharing both my successes but also my messes with you, right? Because I don't care if you are a gardener anywhere on this planet, you're gonna have successes and you're going to have messes. And I just want to share these with you. So hopefully the goal of this is to encourage you so that if you have something similar in your garden, you don't feel defeated, right? So we are all in this together. So I just want to share that with you because I could easily handle this and never show this on camera, but I really want to do that. It's very important for me to share those messes and successes with you. So what am I talking about? Well, okay. Preface first a little bit. We are here on the back patio and it is the last week of July. August starts this week, which is crazy to me. We are in North Carolina, a zone 8A, and we deal with heat and humidity, right? And it's kind of feast or famine around here for rain. You know, in May we had a ton of rain, we had a big flood. Basically after that flood experience, a week or so after, it stopped raining for about 6 weeks. Right before July 4th, we got a little bit of rain. We didn't even do fireworks because we were concerned about it being so dry. In the last probably about 3 weeks now, the rain has come again, and we have that typical summer constant thunderstorms, downpours, cloudy days. In fact, while I am extremely happy to see blue sky, I know that the heat and humidity is just going to be cranking because the ground is so wet. Jerry and I have been gone for a couple of weeks off and on because this is the time of year where we do business trips. I've been gone for 3 weekends in a row, and yeah, some of the garden not looking so good. Here we go, my friends. My beautiful saffron finch that was stunning for the vast majority of the summer. Yeah. She's not looking so hot anymore. I mean, look at that. Basically, we have mass areas of just dead growth, right? And so you do have an occasional pocket of some flowers, but y'all, I just can't handle this. I will rip this out in a heartbeat and let it go. And I will not even think two things about it as far as taking these plants out. So you know that we were in here, we planted these in, I think these actually got planted in early April. They were glorious, they were stunning, they were gorgeous up through June. We went on vacation in June, we came back, we had little pockets of where the foliage was great but no flowers. We think it was budworms. We sprayed for that and they flushed back out and were stunning. Gorgeous for the signature experience, end of June. It's really just been here in the last, since we've done traveling and the rains have come again, that they have perished. And so we're ripping them out. I don't feel the least bit guilty about it. Like I said, we're pulling them out. Now, I do still have a lot of growing season left here in North Carolina. And so Jenny, what plant loves the heat, loves the humidity, loves the full sun, and will go all the way through the fall? Well, that's right, my friends, caladiums. So Jenny just went down and raided the nursery. I've been telling y'all for weeks now that in our nursery tours that the caladiums are buy one, get one free. And while y'all have been taking advantage, there was still a lot of caladiums down there. So I happily went through and shopped. The quote, bad thing, and I say bad, is that we don't have a deep selection of like a ton of one color. So we're gonna mix two colors. We have Blushing Bride, and both of these varieties are sun or shade, so they can do either. So we have Blushing Bride, that's gonna be more in that white green with a little bit of like a reddish pink to it. This is the same caladium that I have up on the porch in the predominantly shade container. So I grabbed all of my Blushing Brides. We're gonna use those. And then the Hot to Trot. I love Hot to Trot. They have nice, really big leaves on them. Yes, they're more red than pink. It'll be fine. And then they have that nice green edge on them. And look how nice and kind of like ruffled the leaves are. But caladiums love the heat and humidity. I also went ahead and grabbed 2 hanging baskets that we have made up out of caladiums. These 2 are buy one, get one free, my friends. And so there you go. So we're gonna hang these 2 caladium hanging baskets on the porch. So what I'm going to do is I am going to come through and I am going to first clean up, right? So we're going to rip out all of the saffron finches, what is left of them. While we're in there, we're going to look for some weeds. I happened, as I was walking by, I saw that I have got a morning glory. That's what that is right there. A big pain of a nuisance of a weed for us here in the South. I've got a morning glory that's popped up. So I'm going to obviously pull that. Any other weeds that I see in here, we're going to go ahead and yank them out. If you see a weed, pull a weed. So really easy, pull those out, and then I'm going to go ahead and prep my soil. So we have a good, nice, rich base of soil in here, right? Lots of good organic compost, that land and sea, love it. So I shouldn't have, I'm not planning on it. I'm not gonna add any more compost or soil to the area. As I pull the plants out, I'm gonna of course shake the roots and try to get as much soil off of them as possible. But before I plant my caladiums, I'm gonna go ahead and do just a mass spread of the Biotone Starter Fertilizer. This bag's almost empty, so I grabbed a new one. Just sprinkle that down, encourages strong root growth. And then I will go through and then do a little bit of Proven Winners Premium Continuous Release Food. So that is great, that slow release fertilizer that feeds them. I will not have to come back through and do water soluble on these guys at all. The vast majority of these are going to be in that 8-inch pot. And yes, some of them are a little thinner than others, and it's okay. With the Blushing Bride, I had a few that were in the quart size. So I went ahead and grabbed those. I may double these up because these are kind of small. And so just for initial aesthetics, I may just go ahead and like double those up. We'll see. It's all gonna be a game time decision around here. So yeah, it's gonna be pretty simple. It is lunchtime. Jenny always picks the best times to come work out here. But in my defense, we had a lot of very important meetings this morning. And of course, when we were in the meetings, it was cloudy all day. In fact, it was nice and pleasant. And then as soon as I come out here to do the video, the sun comes out. But again, I see blue sky. I have been missing the blue sky because it has been hazy and cloudy and overcast for like weeks. And so I'm ready to see the blue sky, so get ready to see Jenny glisten in all of her glory, and we're gonna get this job knocked out, and it is going to make a huge transformation back here. Cannot wait. Okay, my friends, so already it has made such a massive improvement just pulling the plants out, right? And I absolutely easily, like my little heart would be perfectly fine leaving it just like this. Just pulling out those plants neat and tidy is so much better than looking at that mess, right? So I would be perfectly happy leaving it like that, but I do have a lot of growing time left, and I have all these gorgeous caladiums that are just sitting at the nursery, and if people don't come and buy them, they're just gonna go to waste. So I'm gonna take advantage of them, and it's not gonna be hard to get these in the ground, right? So just kind of give you a little bit, right, an up close view here. My Diamond Spire gardenias have started blooming again. These are the ones from the Southern Living Plant Collection. Such a fun, they're columnar. Yes, I know, Senorita Rosalita she's an overachiever. Remember I whacked her back and gave y'all heart attacks? Well, look at her now. But she is crowding out the Diamond Spire just a little bit, but Diamond Spire is fine. She'll be okay. Gorgeous. Now, so I have, just so you can see the width of what I have available to plant these caladiums in. And I don't know exactly how I'm going to place them. I will figure that out. I do know that I have my white shishi camellias. These are sasanquas, again, from our friends at Southern Living. Y'all, because they're Sasanquas, you know that because they have little smaller leaves on them. You see that? I have got buds. So I have got buds all over these camellias. Fall bloomer, nice, gorgeous, pure white flower mixed in, of course, with the Sprinter boxwoods. So I don't know on my placement, like I have a really nice hole right here. So I know I easily can put one here. In front of the Sprinters is a little narrow. I mean, I could easily not, but then I probably could. And so I don't know that I want to put them straight in front of the camellias, let those camellias flush out, maybe get some more buds on them before they bloom here in the next couple of months. So kind of my placement of the caladiums is going to be really, I'm just going to walk through and place the caladiums and probably move them a couple of times to figure out exactly how I want to have them spaced in that bed in particular. This bed with the David Austin roses is a little bit more forgiving. Like I've got more room here. Still have the Diamond Spire with all the Cleome behind it, but I've got more available space, right? So it seems to be a little bit more forgiving right through here, especially between the roses and the boxwoods. Like I've got good space right here. So yeah, I'm not trying to jam pack them in there. Like I'm not trying to go for full coverage. I just want some nice pops of color in there. And maybe it ends up that I only use one variety. I don't know, y'all. This is just how I garden. We'll figure it out as we go, and we'll move plants around, see what I like, and then we'll just go from there. But get these babies in the ground, and literally all I'm going to do is take my hori and pull back the soil, plop them in, and then put the soil back. That is it. No, nothing fancy, nothing particular. Just throw them in the ground and move on to the next one. My friends, today's project, she's a wrap. It is complete. I'm telling you, you don't have to kill yourself and be out there in the garden tons. A little bit here and now will make a world of difference. And this is going to take us into the fall so nicely. So I kept it simple, sweetie, right? I am practicing what I'm preaching because let's just be honest. End of July, August, Jenny starts to get tired. And my motivation level, especially when it's hot and humid, like plummets. If it were cool and dry, even if it were warm, well, cooler, when I say cooler, my people with humidity, you understand, like just drier air feels cooler. So if it were drier and a little cooler, but still warm, you know, all the things that we gardeners want, and I know I'm rambling, I'm sorry, y'all. I kept it simple, all right, because I'm just not motivated to come in here and kill myself. I did 5 of the hot detroits on each side, and I know that right now maybe they look a little thin, right? They're not like magazine worthy right now. The caladiums aren't, my gosh, everything else is. But I know caladiums. Caladiums they are going to thicken up and take off in no time flat, because I see already we have got new growth right here. So they are in here. If you have never grown caladiums and you're in a humid environment, you need to do caladiums. They are the easiest plant to take care of. So a couple of things that you want to keep in mind when you think about growing caladiums. Okay. They do thrive in the heat and humidity, especially the humidity, right? So these are plants that you can actually see like grow before your very eyes. I'm trying to find a little shade here. Grow before your very eyes. They will stop growing if the temperature gets below 50. So if you get really cool nights, your caladiums, while they're not gonna die at 50 degrees, they're just not gonna be growing. So for us right now and for the next foreseeable future, I would say 6 weeks at least, our nighttime temperatures they're going to be somewhere in the 70s or above, right? It would be even rare for us right now to get into the upper 60s. So they're going to continue to grow. They love the heat and humidity, like I said. Depending on the variety, they will do sun or shade. So one thing I love about the Proven Winners, the Heart to Heart series of caladiums, is that on that tag, it very clearly says sun, shade, meaning they can do either one, or it'll say shade tolerant or sun tolerant, like, right? So there's only a handful of them that are really just specifically only for the shade. The vast majority of Proven Winners caladiums can do sun or shade. And when I say full sun, I mean full sun. These babies are going to get full sun. They don't require a lot of fertilizer, right? That slow release fertilizer in there, that premium continuous release, having that biotone starter fertilizer is going to help with the root growth. So they're not heavy feeders. You don't need to come out here with your water soluble fertilizer, you know, every third watering and feed them. You don't have to do that at all. They are naturally just going to take off, and their average water needs, they're not what I would say like drought tolerant, but they're not by any means like water hogs either. So they're just a moderate water need. Caladiums are going to be annuals. They are not going to be perennials unless you live in South Florida. Caladiums are, they're called a corm, and so it's like what you would think of as a bulb, and they are very much tropical plants. So even if I were to leave them in my landscape all winter and then next spring, they're not going to be here. They're going to absolutely rot in my soil. Jerry did come stop by around lunchtime, and he hung up the hanging baskets for me. And so, I mean, look, I love caladiums in a hanging basket. And that is the great thing about caladiums. They can do directly in the landscape like we did with the Hot to Trot. You can put them in those hanging baskets, and you can put them in containers. For example, I'll give you a little update here on the Blushing Bride with the begonia. Look at that. So here, this was 2 of the 8-inch containers, and I planted those begonias. You were with me when we planted that, and you can see how lovely they are doing. This is going to be more of a predominantly shade area. That's why I put these guys in here, but they do get a little sun. Because remember, originally I put a hosta in here and it started to burn. So I need both my begonias and my caladiums here are sun or shade, but especially the begonias prefer a little bit more shade. So yeah, I'm very pleased with how that container is doing. Yeah. Beautiful, massive, out of control beast. So those of you from last year, remember what I did right here? It's going to happen again probably this week. Yep, Jenny is going to take the hedge trimmers, and I am going to completely cut these back. Again, I will give you heart attacks. If you're not familiar with Jenny's style of gardening, I'm going to freak you out. But I have the proof from last year that it works. So we will come through. That'll be a whole separate video. I will show you exactly what I am doing. I'll show you last year's, what it looked like when I trimmed it, and then what it looked like about 3 weeks later, and they were absolutely stunning. So get out there, do a little something in your garden. Whatever you can do, do it. And y'all, if a plant's not thriving and it's making you upset and just discourage you to look at it, take it out. It's a plant. It's your garden. You're in control of your garden. Due to nature and all the other things, but I'm saying you do have some level of control in your garden, that if a plant is not performing and you're not happy with it, get rid of it. Either toss it and throw it out like I did with these dead petunias. If you just need to move it, maybe it just needs another location, move it. If you are like, the plant's healthy, I just don't like the plant, ask a friend, hey, I've got X, do you want to have it? And then give it away, whatever you want to do. Remember, it's your garden. You can do what you want to in your garden. There are no garden police. Just go for it, and your garden should bring you joy, not stress, not frustration, not anxiety. All right, my friends, as always, we appreciate you. Brent and I are going to go get a nice cold drink of water, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye, friends.